Welcome, everyone. We are broadcasting live from West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm Joey Bianco from Boston, Massachusetts. And this is what happens when you get trapped in an airport with delays that keep happening. Commissioner, you gonna do your thing?
Oh, I'm here. Good Lord, dude. Good Lord. I thought the delay was going to be 20 minutes. Delays 2+ hours.
Yeah.
Well, so I figured we might as well go live and address the good, the bad, and the ugly, and talk about our great experience we had.
Yeah, oh my God. So much of it
So
that we're
how
not
did
even
you?
allowed to talk about it.
So well, we're gonna talk about what we can talk about.
Yeah. All right, you
First of
kick it
all, I had a
off.
great time at the Great Smoke. Thought it was absolutely amazing. Being a part of epic history, which I thought it was epic. Some people hated on certain situations, like the comedy guys or other little things. I don't got time in life um, to argue and fight over the littlest things in life. To be able to have an event that extraordinary during COVID, I was just
Mm.
happy to get to see it. We've never had nothing like it. So to be able to fly in, get to enjoy it, get to sit there, watch it, and know how much effort was put behind what
Yeah.
happened, and to be one of those, complainers. I mean, you paid $160 for 40 cigars. Right there, you're done.
Hmm.
Then to have the opportunity to maybe get a box of Fuente, maybe get a box of whatever, was just pretty amazing. So I mean, that's where I'm at with that thought. But let me know what you think about that.
Yeah, so like getting down there, I was a little bit concerned because I was leaving like the day before, and because we're flying out of Boston, we got a lot of snow and stuff here, right? So I see the delay, I see them cleaning the plane off, and I'm like, I've never seen that before. And we get on the plane, they're cleaning it off again, and then we're waiting like a half hour, cleaning it again, and then I'm like, oh, we're moving real fast. Turns out we're just driving in circles for whatever reason. Then we finally take off. And the guy's like, listen, I just came back from Florida. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be a rough ride. Or it's just gonna be a ton of turbulence, all the storm clouds and all that stuff. And I'm like, whatever. My first time flying with turbulence. And so I just kind of sit back, I'm sleeping, right? And as soon as the turbulence starts to happen, everyone starts freaking out. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm trying to sleep. So I end up operating on like 2 hours of interrupted sleep. But the experience, so this for me was my first great smoke. So I have nothing to compare it to. So it's a totally new experience to me. And I've never been to smoking. I've never been to that part of Florida before. So all of this was a new experience to me. And I've never met pretty much anyone down there before in person, you know. And but when I got down there, we hung out at Smokin' and Boyden the first night, and I was just meeting all these people that I've either talked to over virtual or whatever, and or just seeing in social media, and we all just welcomed each other in like we were a family, like we already knew each other, Because I was talking to a guy today. I just sat down at the bar, and I just sat there, and I'm like, let's just see what happens. And a guy sits down, and we introduce each other, and he asked me where I'm from. I'm like, yeah, I'm from Boston. He goes, I'm from New York. I'm like, so we're not gonna like each other. And he goes, no, we're gonna agree to disagree on things. And I'm like, yeah, but you just agree to the wrong things. But and we end up sitting down, and I think we end up having like a 4 hour conversation, you know, and
Hmm.
then he was like reflecting on like the conversation that we were having, and I was like, yeah, and all of it because of a dead leaf that we're smoking, and he just lost his shit laughing because he'd never thought about like what a cigar was. Because I think that if you're active in a lot of the cigar group, you have an appreciation and understanding that like a cigar is what unifies all of us together. Because we all come from different things. We all think and operate differently, but we can all agree that we'd like to keep smoking cigars. You know.
For real, for real. Now, what do you think was the highlight of your weekend? Like, what was your highlight? Because there's a lot of things that we did. We were everywhere. Uh,
Yeah.
so, what do you think the highlight was?
Well, I think I have two major highlights. I think the first major highlight was the fact that, you know, Kamish talked to Abe and like asked him to let me like be a part of, this great smoke, and allowing me to be part of history. And Abe not only allowing me, but helping to make sure that I was actually ready for it. Like he was actually talking to me, like at odd hours, and he wasn't just like sending messages like, "Oh, that wasn't good," or "That wasn't bad," or something like that. He's sending videos explaining and actually showing what to do. Because like the funny thing about that is, Kamish calls me and he lets me know, and he's like, "Yeah, I need you to do something for me. All right, if you do it real well, it's gonna work out real good for you. But if not, well, that kind of sucks, you know." And and I'm like, "All right, what the hell's going on?" And he goes, "All right, so you're gonna be part of the Great Smoke. You're gonna be kicking it off, and I'm gonna send you what you need to say and make a video, send it to Abe, and good luck." So I spent 6 hours in my garage. I'm in a nice three-piece suit. It's cold in New England. My heater makes a lot of noise, so I had no heat, and I'm rehearsing, and I keep fucking up the lines. I'm going on and on and on, and I finally get to three videos that I liked. I'm like, I can't pick one. Let me just send it out there, see what happens, because this was like my first real interaction with Abe. And
Mhm.
within, I don't know, 5, 10 minutes, he sends me back a video of him doing my script and what I needed to do perfectly. And I was just like, son of a bitch.
um,
And it was cool because he just kept giving me pointers. And because of that, I've been able to like do my Zoom meetings better. Because like one of the big things was like knowing how to look at the camera so it looks like I'm looking at me, and then looking up as if I'm looking at you. And after he like explained to me how that worked, it made a big difference. So
I mean, it makes me dizzy when I look up at the camera. It's pretty funny. So I'm like, I think I'm like focusing too much. So I
yeah.
kind of like look down. But it is what it is. I just do things for fun. Just do things for enjoyment. Just do things to have a conversation. Um,
But
now
yeah, I got sidetracked with all my jazz.
I was I was very I was very proud of you with that intro. I didn't get to see it because I'm late to everything, including I'll be late to my funeral. I
Hmm.
was probably 35 minutes late. If you want to
Yeah.
get to somewhere on time, don't ask me unless it's to a Patriots, Red Sox, or a Bruins game. And even then, I might not be on time. I try to be on time to that because if they're losing, then it's my fault for showing up late. That's how I think
Hmm.
about it. So I try to make it there on time. But man, I'm never on time to anything. I wasn't even on time to the Great Smoke. I put up
Yeah.
35 minutes after. But I mean, it was very cool. It was very cool how they had the set. I was pretty shocked how they transformed
Yeah.
this little area, which it wasn't a huge area, but they transformed it into a great set. Um,
Yeah.
my highlights was obviously getting to see me have you be at the beginning of the show. I mean, you kicked off the first
Hmm.
ever big event with
Yeah.
people that are well known in the industry. You got Abe, obviously. Everybody knows
Yeah.
Abe. You got Smokini, you got Melanie, you got Michael Herclox did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Smokini did an amazing job. Shout out to Melanie. Um, then you got the amazing people that showed up, like Saka showed up, Fuente showed up. Uh, Nick Perdarmo is actually right behind me, just hanging out. It's kind of funny. You got a photobomb picture by him, and I didn't even notice it because somebody sent me a message and said, "Hey, that's pretty cool. You got a picture with Colito and Nick's photobombing the picture." And I'm
Yeah.
like, I didn't even notice that. So, I mean, I had a great time. I was able to score a couple packs of cigars. I got the Tatuaje, which shout out to Pete. Pete's my guy.
Yeah.
Pete's
And
been
then Pete,
great.
if anyone paid attention, shout out Kamish about muling all that shit back to Massachusetts.
I got to make sure I knew at least a little bit back in Massachusetts. I didn't get much. I mean, I couldn't find Abe in the back door at the same time. Abe was right on the camera the whole time, so I couldn't,
Yeah.
sneak out the back door. Abe, let's talk about this. I need 16 bags.
Hmm.
So I couldn't,
Yeah.
I
He
couldn't
go.
tell Abe to do that. Like, hey, let's go, come over here, Abe. Let's talk about this.
You have a
But
conversation here.
I scored those and I scored the Aganosa. What did you end up scoring?
I ended up scoring the Perdomo, and then I got the Maduro for the Perdomo because very good friend of mine from Cigar Fanatic. I wanted to get that for him.
Who's that
And
good friend?
Carl. If you don't know Carl, you need to know Carl. He's an absolute terrific human being, and he's helped introduce me to a lot of excellent people. And he's created probably one of the best communities I possibly could have been a part of.
Oh,
Called
that's
Cigar Fanatic.
100%. 100%. I
Yeah,
totally agree. Kyle's just a great guy in
yeah,
general, period. If he would have messaged me, I would have been on that too, getting it up for him.
yeah.
So
Well,
shout
no, he
out to
didn't even
Kyle.
ask. I just wanted to help him out because he's a good friend of mine.
hmm
I'm like, just in
hmm
case he doesn't get it, I want to make sure he has it.
Now he's gonna be amped.
Yeah.
So you know what you? Well, you couldn't do it because we didn't get it at the event. I was gonna say you could have had Nick sign the box for him, but
Well,
we couldn't
yeah,
get him to
that's
sign
true.
the
Yeah,
box when the box ain't there.
yeah.
So I mean, what was your favorite? What was your favorite thing in your box? What was the thing that you like pulled out and you were
I
like, hey,
so my problem is I was not so like not from like I wasn't pulled in as many directions as the people who were working the show, but like people I was pulled in a lot. Everyone who had either seen me on Instagram or shows or rooms or wherever, everyone just started talking to me. So I was constantly pulled around. I still haven't opened my bag yet, like my humidor, except to put the extra cigars I got in there.
mm-hmm.
So I actually haven't opened that yet. Uh, and I
Yeah,
think
I love the try. The carry on was like, so me, what I do is like part of my thing, like that I have in my brain is I want to give back in some sort of cause if I can. Because I'm very fortunate to have a whole shit ton of cigars.
hmm
And every time I go down to Florida, I come back with more cigars than I can handle. So anytime I go to the Great Smoke, I just got ginger ale right here. I'm probably gonna get a drink right after. Anytime I get to go to the Great Smoke, those
you can tell the
cigars.
bar story too.
Which one?
The one with the guy, and as soon as I sit at the bar, he starts giving me shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. So the thing I do is I just donate my cigars. I mean, I just don't need any more. Like, you know what I mean? I bought those. I got those 2 packs, and then plus it went to a million more. If you know what I'm saying. After somebody hands me a cigar, Carlos hands me a cigar, Polly hands me a cigar. You know what I mean? Everybody's handing me cigars, and honestly, besides that, you know what the greatest thing that I got was in the whole weekend, man, and I was hyped up about it because it's not very much when you can just like totally blow my mind with something. This is for getting photobombed by the kid. uh,
Getting
they probably,
photobombed by the kid.
Making his rounds.
they probably think we're
I
crazy,
always saw someone book it over, and I was like, wait, what?
but I have to pull this out and shout out to my guy Carlos for giving me this. But this is what I think about everybody who didn't enjoy that live virtual Great Smoke digital experience. I got a personal little thing for you. You see this? This is the world's smallest violin. That's what we think about. That's what we think about y'all complaining about that. So if you want to complain about that, come on. There's a lot more things to complain about in life. Great time, great event. Happens again next year. I will be there. There's
Absolutely.
no reason not to be there. Um, Now, what did you do before the Great Smoke? What's some highlights you did before the Great Smoke?
Well, I think the main highlight for me was actually being able to, because we had a couple of people who were meeting us down there, So my big highlights were actually being able to like hang out and see with them because we're all from so many different parts, Because like I was able to meet Carlos in person in Miami, and then when we finally got over to Boynton, I got to hang out with Stacy, aka Moxie, you know, and then I was able to hang out with Cynthia, aka the hostess with the mostest, you know, and then I finally got to link up with you and Mike, and then I just had a really good time, and then then I met Sokka, then I met Melanie Cisco, then I met Nish Patel, you know, and it was honestly just like a really good time. Um, but yeah, I never got to fully answer what. Oh shit! Let me mute this. Yeah, it's real
Yeah,
busy here.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So like the highlight that I had was actually being allowed to be a part of history. Because that's just an honor in itself. You know, and the second was just the fact that I actually got to like hang out and like have some like real conversation with like the people that you would look up to or that you want to learn from, and actually being able to just sit down and have real genuine conversation. Because like we came out here and we made so many new friends. Like I think just based off of just how this event, the cigar industry is going to be closer. Because you had a bunch of the heavy hitters, you had icons, legends, new guys in the game, all coming together, hanging out, having a drink and a cigar and a great time. And everyone kept jumping around to the groups, and people were meeting new people, a lot of numbers exchanged, and everyone was just getting to know each other. And even if you're just a consumer and you're just on that end, even you got to be able to become friends with some of these guys, where in other words, you would never have that opportunity. And I just thought that that was like really cool because it was seeing what everyone talks about in person, because I've never gone to a big event before. So to like know that it's true and genuine when they
Hmm.
say it is a good time and we connect, you know, and but it was cool being able to hang out with everyone.
Yeah, you know what I absolutely loved about the Great Smoke too is the start. Like right after you talked, like it flowed perfectly right into the show. Like I felt like
Hmm.
I was watching Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Like when it started, like it was crazy.
Hmm.
It really was crazy. I was like, wow, you know.
Yeah, because like what was neat about that is that I had only had so much information upon it, and then when I went up there, they gave me one rehearsal. And I went up there and I fucked it up and I was like, damn it. And I went over to talk to Abe for a minute and we were discussing how I need to improve it. And then just in that moment, as soon as the camera went go, because they're making all these hand signs at me, but like I'm not in show business. I don't know what any of them mean. So I'm like, just tell me when. Just give me a thumbs up, you know. And and it just went go and I just stopped thinking and it just flowed and it just came out exactly how I wanted it to, and I was very happy with that.
Shout out to
You
my
know.
guy Mike too. My Mike was my DD the whole week. One of those nights I would have probably not made it back to the hotel safely because I downed almost the whole bottle. So that was pretty fun. Um,
Yeah.
and then we had the best cigars on this side of the country, the key
Mhm.
lime pies.
How about that Sin Firecracker?
Woo! These popping shots out here, man. Y'all don't know about that Sin Firecracker. Mike was the only one who got one of those Sin Firecrackers, and I still have my Terrence Riley 40th birthday cigar. 40th birthday. So, well, we're out here, we're out here doing the New England thing, making sure we get all the exclusives. You're just gonna slide. You just like this. You
Yeah.
just slide right
You,
in
you
there.
you gotta understand, they're so exclusive. Even the guy who makes them doesn't get a chance to smoke them. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, listen, Sako was walking away. Sako was walking away. I was looking at his humor. Listen, stop, yeah. I know there's got to be a prototype or something, some tricky tracker number 6243 or something like that. Knowing him, he probably got all kinds of different rare stuff in the cigar. You know what I mean? So cigar case. Um, yeah, shirtless Mike was not shirtless. I was very disappointed. But let's talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
shirtless
There
Mike
wasn't.
stuff.
Yeah. He didn't have a single nip. Out at all. And that was underwhelming. When you go meet a shirtless person, you expect them to be shirtless, and he had a shirt on the whole time.
Freaking guy, freaking guy. We got to change his name. Shirt on Mike.
Yeah. But
um,
yeah, it was cool like meeting him in person because him and I have known each other for probably almost a year now, and just talking, going back and forth, and it was cool to like finally like see him in person. He was really cool to hang out with, you know. So I just wish he was able to drink that night, but he had a long drive, so he didn't do anything because then it
yeah,
would
I
have gotten
mean,
really wild.
Now my favorite I took a bunch of pictures, but one of my favorite pictures is, I'm not a majority Fuente smoker. Um, I typically stay to, soccer, tatuaje, all that stuff. But one of my favorite parts of that show really was how genuine Carlito was. And he came over, he took a picture with us, and I got nothing against the brand. I just don't tend to smoke them. Like I smoke his cheaper stuff. I like the short story and those ones like the cheaper ones. I like the cheaper ones. Like I like the Lost City was decent. But the genuineness and like how heartfelt his conversation was, you could feel it in the seats when we were watching it. And then he came right over after and he took a picture with us and it was just like boom, that's a memory. That's an
Yeah,
unforgettable memory.
yeah, it was cool because of me knowing him a little bit, we ended up hanging out for like an hour or so, just talking, going back and forth, and introducing, and you know, and we were just talking and going back and forth, and took like a million pictures, and so so we're like trying to figure out all these other different pictures we can do. So he grabs a chair and he puts it down in front of me. He goes, "No, no, you." I'm like, "It'd be kind of weird for me to sit down in this picture. We're already about the same height, anyways, you know." And he goes, "No, no, stand." So I go and I stand on the chair, but these chairs, they are so like what is it called, sensitive to pressure, right? So they're folding chairs, right? So it's flat, and as soon as I put my left foot down just a little bit, the chair goes like this, and start to close up on me, and I'm like, oh shit, and so I'm like, oh, I'm not trying not to fall in Carlito, because that would be bad and it would hurt, and so I'm like balancing like that, and then we're doing the iconic like Carlito pose, taking pictures, and that was just like really cool to like have him think of doing that, because that is a moment that I will never forget. And then the conversation after, was like really heartfelt, to the point that almost everyone at our table was tearing up or crying, because we had similar to the conversation that he had with Abe on the show, we had something similar to that, at our table. And we went on and on about that for like an hour. And it was just really just incredible. Like it was such a moving thing, because like when people build people up in their heads as icons and legends, it's usually very hard to live up to all those stories and tales because people exaggerate. But not with this man. There's no exaggerations about him. If not enough told, you know. And I just thought that it was a really like beautiful memory that I'll have for the rest of my life.
Hmm. Now also, we got Nasty Snipes, which is Mike Collins. I don't know why his name's Nasty Snipes. He must think he's good at Call of Duty or something of the sort. Uh, but basically, what Mike said was, "Oh yeah, and if y'all don't know, the boys at Smoke Inn and the work they all do to find a way, top-notch operations, top-notch people, AJ, Alex, Junior, Abe, all y'all, and, Briggs, all of them. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. They put on an amazing show, man. They were running around. The littlest thing, like people complaining about, like the littlest thing was like, a 2 day excursion. Building that set must have been a 2 day excursion.
Yeah,
So,
like
um,
there were minor glitches here and there on a technical part, but like for the most part, that stuff that's out of your control. Like you can plan and prep for it, but like you could have a computer for 10 years, and all suddenly it starts updating or rebooting or on you, and you're like, God damn it, and there's nothing you can do about it, But I thought that the way that Abe and Mike were able to think so quickly and react so think quickly. Like whenever something happened, Mike would come in with a joke and then Abe would finish it. And they would just be able to change the tune of it and go into something else and would just work with it. Just watching how everyone rolled with the punches with any glitches or errors that were, you know, as close to unavoidable as possible. And I just thought that was like really cool that they were able to do that.
hmm No, Well, Mike's going on that because I'm gonna have to agree. And then so we're getting Major Boys NECM getting it at TS 2021. And then Mike also said, I'm gonna ask you this question. What was your favorite cigar you smoked this weekend?
My favorite cigar this weekend. Um, hmm. You go first while I think on that. Because I don't know the name of the cigar, but a very good friend of mine from the Cigar Fanatics named Robert, he's out of Miami. He gave me a cigar that was a Connecticut broadleaf, and he said that he bought the last of those cigars off of the owner,
Oh,
and the
dude,
guy
he
can't
gave
make
me
them
one of those
anymore.
too. He gave me one of those too, dude.
Yeah, and I smoked it, and he kept checking in with me on it, and it was just like, and I was like, this is just like an incredible cigar. I was like almost saddened by the fact that he told me that we're never gonna get any more, and you're the sole proprietor, the last of this incredible freaking cigar. Because like when they were like,
Yeah.
I was taking pictures of it with my drink, and I was like really looking at the detail of the cigar, and you could like see the age on it and like the craftsman. It like looked like a
Oh, it
beautifully
was a
like
beautiful
vintage
cigar.
cigar.
It is. It is a beautiful cigar. I have one in my humidor, dude. I was amped when he gave me that. I was like, whoa, what's this? You know?
Yeah. He's like, smoke it right now. And I was like, absolutely. Because I just finished one of my cigars and I was just so happy to try that.
And so me and Robert and Mike met up. We went to me, Robert, and Mike went to the cigar. We went to the cigar bar at Miami. What's it called? Burn. They changed it to another name. I forgot the other name. Not Burn. Prime. Prime. That's where we were at Prime. Um, and we sat down in the chair, and one of the gentlemen walked over. Oscar Valadares was there, and one of the gentlemen walked over. He goes, "Hey, I want to introduce you guys to somebody." And we're like, "What's up?" He's like, "He's a former New York Yankee." And he walks up to me, and he puts his hand out. And when he puts his hand out to shake my hand, I just looked at him dead in his face, and I said, "Fuck the Yankees. Yankees suck." He just started dying laughing. He was like, "Hey, that's the reason why I love you, Boston guys." Give us a big hug, took a picture with us. I'll probably be on the website. So the name of the place is Empire. That was an amazing experience. Robert, me, and Mike just chilling. That was an amazing experience. Um, I think my two favorite cigars though this weekend would have to be the Bunker Buster 2014 I smoked earlier. I think it was freaking amazing. And then I smoked Scott from Rodriguez cigars that you could only get on their website. You can't get it on their website. You have to call and say I want the cigar, and I don't even remember the name, so I'm gonna actually text Danny. Um, Danny was the man. Shout out to Danny. He treated us like royalty. Like I mean, honestly, the whole cigar community as a whole is just amazing. You always have that one. You always have that one guy that you have to, you know, you have to do this. You have to just, and that's why I love this thing. You have to do this to them. Hey, buddy, take this. You need this. But there's always that one guy. But I mean, between going to see Terrence, chilling with Saka today, chilling with Eric Espinoza today, chilling with Cynthia, you, Moxie, Carlos, Robert, Mickey Peg from All Saints. Like the list, Michael Herklocks, Smokini, Cigar Prop, and Mrs. Cigar Prop, Ray, Jessica. There was a million good people there. Like, I could go on for days. Um, Donald, if I got your name wrong, shout out to Donald, great brother from across the country. He's in the militia too. So it's pretty amazing that you could just go meet up with people, and I feel like we know each other for years. Handing cigars out. You might use my cutter. Here's a lighter. Let me get this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because it was funny to be in a room full of like, you know, cigar, like, like just like cigar people that like know what they're talking about, right?
Mhm.
and we're all going around to each other being like, "Hey, do you got a lighter? Hey, you got a cutter?" As if none of us were prepared, which I thought was like really funny because the only ones who like had any cutters or lighters were the local guys, you know,
Mhm.
because like most of us flew in, so we're like, we can't bring this on the airplane. I'm not gonna risk it or worry about it, you know.
Yeah, I chased
But I mean,
AJ down a couple times. I was like,
yeah,
hey, get over here. I need a lighter. I need a cutter.
yeah,
Chase
and
him
thank
down.
and shout out to Robert for carrying a can of butane with them. We needed that.
For real, dude. You would have been struggling at the live audience. I was done. I went through two lighters.
Yeah, because
Ugh.
I ended up staying. I stayed at I'm gonna mute
Yeah, that's a loud.
before they start going again. Yeah, I ended up staying at the production for the full 8 hours, and then we went right to the shop, and then we had the after party. They're starting again. We need it. We got 2 minutes of another one coming out.
Holy moly!
Oh
They're
no,
coming
it's
up
like
with
being
all
it's like
things.
being in oncoming traffic.
All right, for real. Hold on 1 second. Stop. They're in the headlights.
Yeah, like there's no one here. What is there to take care of?
I like.
But well, yeah, I can tell the bar story now, right? So we're all like, ah, shit, we gotta wait here for another couple hours or whatever, and we're all gonna get back after midnight and stuff like that. And we're like, oh, this kind of sucks. So we're like, we walk in, we're like, do we want to eat at this place, this pizza place, or eat at Chili's? So we walk into Chili's, and we're like, no one's helping us. So we go and sit down, and the lady goes, sorry, we're closed. So you guys got to get out of here. And we're like, what is 7 o'clock? And it's, you said to close at 8, but yeah, whatever. I can't read. And so we end up walking out. We go back to the pizza place, and we all hop up at the bar. And I sit there. Kevin and I are talking, and the guy looks at me and goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You can't sit at the bar." And I'm like, "What do you mean I can't sit at the bar?" He goes, "Well, you can't sit." And then yeah, Kevin was asking that, and he goes, "Well, he's not 21, so he can't sit at the bar." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm not 21. I'm 22." And we ended up just going back and forth on that. And I just kept busting his balls because it was just so like rude and uncalled
Why?
for.
I slammed him. I slammed him. I was like, buy him a drink.
Yep. So here we go. Nice maker's mark.
Buy him a drink. Give him a freaking drink. He was like,
Yeah.
oh.
And then we're like, yeah, can you put the Bruins on and stuff? Maybe I might like you a little more again. And he kept like kissing my ass to like get back into like my favor for some reason. It's like, dude, just apologize and don't be rude to the next person who's my height. You know?
Mhm. For real. He was right on
Yeah.
it.
And then afterwards, he's like, yeah, I mean, like, once you took the mask off, I wouldn't have questioned you. I was like, well, maybe you shouldn't have yelled at me before I took it off.
Yeah, maybe we just took your time. You know what I'm saying? We just
Yeah.
stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Don't go in oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, it is what it is. I mean, we got the Bruins game on over here. They're playing the Winter Classic, Lake Tahoe. That's pretty cool.
Mm,
So we'll probably slide out of here in a couple seconds. If anybody has any questions or dislikes or likes it, actually watching this live or in the future, or if you haven't
yeah.
subscribed, subscribe because
We
we'll
will
try to do
definitely
more
do a
videos.
better version of this when it's not like, let's
Yeah, yeah.
kill some time.
Maybe we can get a couple special guests on here. I don't want the regulars that everybody in the whole world's gonna harass their poor people's phones,
Yeah.
3 million times. Maybe you can get like
Hey, come on. I want you to tell me about the Great Smoke. Hey, come on. I want to tell you about the Great Smoke.
a the
And so,
commission never does it like that. The
yeah.
Boston thing. Don't be. My favorite line is, "Don't be fans, be friends. Don't be a fanboy,
Mm,
be a friend." That's the
yeah.
that's the key with me. The fanboy, it gets old. It goes. This
The
guy goes. So But I had a hell of a time. Topped it off. Always forgot one person, Evan from Red Meat Lovers. The food was fantastic.
Glad it was.
Shout out to the
It
team
was funny.
Sweden.
Oh yeah, they did a great job bringing
They're
all the
running wild.
all. Yeah, and yeah, they were bringing us the drinks, and the drinks were made by Ashley Garcia, the
Hmm.
new bartender at Smoke Inn, and she did an incredible job, with those drinks, and being able to make that many drinks was like incredible. Like before they were even going on, we all had drinks in our hand. Everyone had a drink in their hand before it even started. So you weren't like watching it being made with your mouth watering, like that looks so good. You're like, that shit is good. you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it was funny
Yeah.
when they finished cooking the meat, right? They like brought it over next to the table where I was sitting, and a couple of us just looked at each other and we're like, "I won't say anything if you don't." And we like walk over there and we just start taking pieces of meat off and just start devouring that shit because it was so good.
Yeah. Yeah. You just went blank for a second. Yeah. I mean, so we'll definitely come back live. Go on. This was just kind of like a spur of the moment thing. I was just like, screw it. Might as well come live. Really bored as hell out here. I don't even know how the hell we have a freaking delay. It ain't snowing out here. That's the first thing I say is that when I go out on the plane, I'm like, hopefully it ain't snowing. Okay, it's not snowing. When I
Mhm.
go home, I'm like, hopefully it ain't snowing. Okay, it's not snowing. Then we get here. Mike's like, oh yeah, we got a 3 hour delay. I'm like, thanks. That's terrible. So we
Mhm.
won't be home till 1 a.m. maybe 2. You got a courtesy call. Come in. But
Yeah.
Joey had a great weekend. Let's go
Mhm.
back, sit down, watch the Bruins game, have another drink. We'll try to drink our sorrows away here for the
Yeah.
next
We'll
two
probably
hours,
start crying.
14 minutes. Hmm. But let's get it rocking out. We will come live maybe. We'll think of some ideas. We got 2 hours.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Anything
We're
else?
idea guys.
Creative,
Oh yeah,
creative.
I never finished saying what else I bought because I
No, go
started
ahead. Go
going on
ahead.
a tangent about Carl. Uh,
Go ahead.
but I also managed to score a Saka box and an Aganorsa box, and I was just like really psyched that I was able to get like three of them. Like one of each. That
See,
was just
what's great is Mike lives right next to you, so I'm gonna just have Mike stand out in any weather next to your mailbox till the stuff comes, so you can just clip it off. Then we go. Then we're gonna call Abe up and be like, dude, Joey, freaking, what happened to Joey's stuff, dude? Come, like, are you serious?
this is how I know you're a smart guy. You decided to do that with his fucking logo on here on a live camera.
We're live.
Voila! Yeah, I remember when you kept telling me to like say it like that UFC announcer, just freaking yell shit.
I wish we could have. That would have been insane, right?
Yeah,
And then
like,
you just see Abe and Saka wrestling right in the front on the mat to
well,
start the
yeah.
show.
Speaking of that, right? So we were, cause you know how on the show they were making the joke about like being fat and stuff, and it goes, well, sitting next to you, I feel real good, right? So today, we were taking a picture. They were like, yeah, Joe, you get a picture with both Abe and Sokka. So like normally we're doing the thing where we have arms behind each other, and I'm normally in the middle, and I'm just being crushed by man boob, and they're like, we need to let the kid breathe, and I walked out. I'm like, oh shit, you know. And then they're like, I stand in the middle, and we take the picture. And I look up at Abe, and I'm like, and they're like making the fat jokes again. I'm like, next to you guys, I feel real skinny. He's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, they almost took you out, man. Yeah, I was contemplating on whether we're gonna have to take you to the ER after that experience.
Yeah, but it would have been worth it.
That's what they were talking about. They said Biggie Smalls, huh?
Mm.
Y'all all together. That was a good one. Though. I had to hit you with a joke somewhere.
Mhm.
It's not bad. When my recap is uploaded, can y'all help me to share the video since I'm in Facebook jail? Mike, we'll think about it. You know, you are our friend, so we'll really think about it long, hard,
I don't know,
promote
Mike.
tomorrow.
Maybe uh, with that haircut, I don't know. But
That's what he said. What do you think? You know, do we think we help? Do we help Mike out? I think. Listen, it's kind of not our fault he's in Facebook jail. I mean,
yeah, she
food's
kind of,
terrible in there. The food's
yeah,
terrible in there.
seems awful. Being in a virtual jail, you know, really brutal. If only there were like other platforms you could hang out on and talk to people and share things on. But whatever. What do I know about stuff?
Right. So, ladies and gents, we're gonna get going. Feel free to message me, Joey, if you want to know anything. Hopefully, we'll do another show real soon. Other than that, it's almost the end of our day.
Yeah,
No more cigars till what? 2 a.m.
yeah,
And definitely going home and smoking a cigar.
me too.
Why? Because that will be the longest I've went without a cigar in the last 5 days. Pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Right?
that's the longest I've gone, but
I mean, that's pretty close. Think about it, right? What we got here at what time? Like 6 o'clock. So that's we're
we got
already at
here at
two.
6:17,
Okay, so we're
and
already at like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
yeah,
So by the time we get home, oh, I don't know why are we thinking about this. What am I
I
doing?
told you I don't like math. What the hell, But if you
So it's gonna
wanted
be
to
like
be
7
specific,
hours.
we're getting home around 1 o'clock ish, unless they added more from the last time I checked it.
Oh, I
So
don't
that
even want
means
to look because the violin will be coming up.
yeah, because I mean it's almost 9 o'clock now, and then if you go to one, you're adding in another three hours on that. So that's about 6 hours, and that's a long time to not smoke unless you're sleeping. You should definitely sleep. Most of us don't
Right.
do it, but I'm gonna give you advice that you know is good for your health.
Well, that being said, Joey, pleasure.
You,
Have a good rest of your night with me.
yeah. Hopefully we'll do this again and we'll connect, and hopefully hopefully I can see you, from across the way and shit. You know.
Can you dig it?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go over there doing the truffle shuffle and shit, but he let me down. But whatever.
Now they're announcing any suspicious person. Yeah, we look very suspicious. Talking next to
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
All right, Joe. Let's
All
get
right.
it on. Ladies and gents, that concludes this little blah, 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 blah of New England Cigar Militia Live. I'm your boy, the commish. Shout out to Joey Bianco for coming live with me. We'll be long.